So my name is Dinosaur Kilby. Yes, that is my real name. I'm creative producer for digital at Wolverhampton Art Gallery. We're going to talk about a Roblox project that we did with Walsall College art students.
Hi, I'm Penelope. I'm Programs Manager for Wolverhampton Arts and Culture, and we're mostly based at the Art Gallery. So we're talking about this project around what we've been doing at the Art Gallery.
So has anyone been to Wolverhampton? Does anyone know where Wolverhampton is? Yeah, it's in the Black Country, just outside Birmingham, in the West Midlands. It's a lovely old Victorian gallery, but my role is mostly doing digital things with young people. So we had some digital T-level students, 4 of them from Walsall College. Walsall is another area of the Black Country. So these students are doing a digital T-level, which is a digital technical college course where they were doing a work experience placement with us. They didn't have to do anything specific for their course with us. So we kind of decided what we wanted to do together. I don't know if Penelope wants to talk a little bit about how they came to us, the digital T-level.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wolverhampton Art Gallery is the national portfolio organisation, and one of our big strands of funding around that from the Arts Council is around digital arts. So when we were actually recruiting Dinosaur's job, the local college got in touch and said, we're really interested in that role because we have this digital T-level going on, which is a really practical course for students who want to learn about digital. And they wanted to see what opportunities there were to work with us and to kind of find avenues where their students get some industry experience and we could work with some young people on an exciting creative project.
So who knows what Roblox is? Hands up if you know what Roblox is. Yeah. Oh, loads. That's good. Okay. It's a online video game platform where, here you go. I've got the exact statement from Roblox. Roblox is an online game platform and game creation system developed by Roblox Corporation that allows users to program and play games created by themselves or other users. It's a bit like Minecraft. So the students wanted to make a video game and they wanted to learn how to make a video game, and Roblox is a really easy, user-friendly way of doing that. And we wanted some digital content of the gallery. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to build the galleries, the real spaces in Roblox as digital versions. There's a game aspect to it where you kind of have to jump over things, and there's some lasers that you have to dodge and kind of learn and play games to solve clues to make your way through the gallery. So here we go. This is the interpretation poster from what it is. So Wolverhampton Art Gallery has been working with 4 students from Walsall College to design and build our galleries digitally. These digital T-level students have developed new skills in games design whilst making Wolverhampton Art Gallery escape. The game allows players to explore our galleries, solve puzzles, find clues, and engage with our collections in a totally new way. What does it mean to have a digital gallery? So the game does work best if you play it physically in the galleries at Wolverhampton, but you can play it anywhere. I'm going to show you a walkthrough of the game, of part of the game, to see what it's like, and I'll just do a little talk over of what you're seeing. Hopefully. So this is just a screen record of me playing the game last week. So you spawn in the old entrance of the gallery, which is Lichfield Street entrance, and you're met with these signposts that kind of give you a brief outline of where you are and what you have to do. It's set in the art gallery kind of at nighttime. That's why it's a bit dark, kind of after hours, and you're not trapped, but you have to escape from the gallery. You have to find a way of getting out. So there's these red arrows that kind of point you in the right direction. And then as you can see, there's these red Mission Impossible style lasers that will kill you if you touch them, but then you just respawn and carry on. So we're in our gathering space at the moment, which is a kind of family-friendly making space. And then we're coming into the main foyer at the galleries here. You can see the shop in the corner, but the red arrow is telling you to go up the stairs. There's a jump scare at the top of the stairs with this kind of creature that they've made. They were very keen on horror games, and Roblox has a lot of horror games on there. It's a little kind of donkey thing that they wanted to put in there. We've taught them down a lot from horror, so that's the only jump scare in the game. You carry on up the staircase, following the arrows. And we're going to go into our permanent collection now. So again, you're jumping over the lasers, and because I'm not very good, I died. So I have to respawn, and then I try again, jumping over the lasers, and again, I'm not very good. So I respawn again, and this time I think I'm going to do it, hopefully. There we go, I made it over. And then here we're in our focus gallery, and then we're going into Victorian gallery here. So some of the artworks on the wall here are by Edwin Butler Bayliss, who's a local Black Country painter. So his actual artworks are on the wall there. We tried to get the students to input kind of our real collection into the game. So now we're going through Victorian gallery, and you can see maybe there's these floating wooden shelves that you have to jump onto and get up to a ledge that allows you to get a key that lets you go further in the game. So when we were developing the game, we wanted the students to make something that was relevant to the galleries, using the paintings in the collection, but also making it fun. We wanted, kids to play it and have fun. So there are these elements where you have to, go back and try, and they're quite tricky because kids are very good at this and they can do it with speed. So eventually I make my way up the ledge and onto the platform, I think. Yeah, you see in the corner, there's a kind of like safe. I'm not very good. I should have done this better. But eventually we get up. So the whole idea is that they've built the kind of permanent collection galleries at Wolverhampton, so Victorian, Georgian, and they've inputted the kind of paintings in the collection into the actual digital spaces. Here we go. I'm doing it better now. So I've now got my key, which I can then use to open this door, I think. No, there we go. We're going into Lutz Gallery, and that is we have a Yinka Shonabari sculpture, and that is a kind of replica as close as they could get to the seesaw asteroid men that Yinka's made. And then we get some more text about what you need to do. And here's the main gallery here with the Lee family portrait. And what you need to do is you need to find a 4-digit code to open a safe. So you kind of move some of the paintings out of the way that gives you one number, and then you find more numbers, and you eventually get to a safe and you can get out. So I'll go on from that, hopefully, I think. Can I? There we go, yeah. So that gives you a little idea of like the game. These are some of the students and Simon, one of my colleagues. So how did we work together? We had the students for about a year, and they were given at the start, a project brief of making a digital work with us that was, relevant to the galleries. And they wanted to learn new skills in game design, and they wanted to learn kind of professional skills. So we met with them once a week sometimes when they had more time, kind of just very informal chats, about how the game was going, what they thought, was going well, what they thought was not going so well. And then they had exams at certain points in the year, so we slowed down a little bit. And then there's other times where we, could work a bit better and a bit more towards things. Let's play this. This is the game, the user testing. Basically, we kind of tested the games with families. So I'll try and play a little bit of this and see if it's going to work. These are very big videos, so they might not work. So yeah, here's some of the kind of families that we work with using the games in the galleries.
So one of the things we wanted to do in providing kind of industry real experience for the students was to inbuild user testing. So this happened kind of partway through the development of the game with them. They'd kind of come up with the physical space of the gallery, and they'd introduce some of these elements of gameplay, some of the atmosphere they wanted to create, and the look. So we worked with
Where's that?
We identified through a partner organisation. We do a lot of work with the Wolverhampton called Voice of Parents, and they represent about 800 families around the city who have children and young people who are SEND. And they came along, they played the game, and then they shared their So
the actual art gallery.
open-ended questions about like what did you enjoy? What was it?
Where they actually use the real
And also asking about their current experience of playing Roblox games and what elements from the ones that they really enjoyed they'd like to bring into it. And one of the interesting things that came out of that we're really hoping for is that they particularly enjoyed playing it in the Kilby
while you're playing it.
kind of
Hybrid
space where they were
characters
looking around and then exploring the game.
There were some characters that we like that were put in there as well.
shop. It's a shop area.
Certain the shop area.
They didn't like were that it was not scary enough, basically.
But it was kind of inspiring doing that. So they just eventually just sat down to agree.
Would you prefer to play the game at all instead? What did you like that you're
But
not?
they were also quite gory.
I liked the old and the old gallery playing. It's something like the pairs together and just
Children came along and said, "Oh, we would have
a bit more
really
relaxed.
appreciated them not being included."
Yeah,
I mean, so I actually asked them to be taken before we did the
But when I let this go out, and it's actually, you know,
devastating that somebody
more fun.
like me without
So
that.
yeah, choice. You better play at the art gallery than at home.
Yeah, that's not something
Great, thank you.
to remove myself. So we're very much reliant on the students doing those things. But that was
In the future, we want to implement more real life games where the game's interactive by using.
So we have the Friday Lates at the gallery, which are events on the last Friday of the month, where we open 6 till 9, and all of the exhibitions are open, so you can come and see the exhibitions. But we also program performances, workshops, live music, that sort of thing. And in November last year, we had a digital version of this where we launched the Roblox game. So the students wanted to make a game trailer to kind of, tease the game before it was being launched on the Friday Lates. So I'll show you the trailer, and then I'll show you a recap of how the Friday Lates looked. So what I should say is that the students made everything. They've never made a trailer before, they never made a video game before, and they made everything. I did very, very little in this. And they all learnt it mainly through YouTube kind of tutorial videos. Their professors at the college helped with certain things, but it was kindly kind of, self-led, self-taught in that respect. If they were really stuck, I could help them with certain bits, but it was them making everything. And then I think the next one is kind of an Instagram reel showing about the Friday Late. So we also had an algo rave on that night. An algo rave, for people that don't know, is digitally live coded music. So you're live coding samples and beats that build up songs as you go. And that code is projected behind you, so you can see the code as the music develops. So yeah. So these are the laptops that we had available for people to play the games, and then this is the algo rave and gallery. We also projected the trailer by some big so everyone can see it. So I've got some quotes here just from the students and how they thought about the project. So Alex has said, with the opportunity to work on such an amazing project, this placement has more than lived up to my expectations. The four of us assigned ourselves specific jobs to do around design, scripting, and programming, and we made sure we'd learned and benefited from the experience. Uzair said we had a clear vision in mind in terms of making sure the game was suitable for all ages and highly interactive, which it was. They managed to have, I think, at least 5 elements of gameplay in the game, so that people would be up for the challenge. We achieved a lot in the time we had, which is a huge deal for us. Not only we were in a position to keep on improving what we'd learned upon. So the guys really enjoyed being part of it, is kind of what I'm trying to get across. They weren't just sat in a room doing a work placement. They kind of really engaged with us, making something that they were proud of. It's all gone on their CVs and their portfolios, so they were all really happy. This is the QR code. If you want to play the game, just open up your camera and hopefully it'll take you to a link that will go to Roblox. But I think that's us. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Questions? I will come over to you with the mic. If anyone has a question. Yes. Brilliant. If you could please say your name, where you're from, and
Hello, I'm Georgie. I'm from Castle Howard. Have you, since you launched the game, have you noticed a change in your audiences, or have you seen more younger people come through your doors?
That's a really interesting question. So, yes, we have. So, we've got a kind of upward trend in our kind of younger audiences generally across the board at the art gallery. I think it's difficult to track whether that's because of these kinds of youth-led projects that we're doing and looking at different mediums. But overall, there is a kind of upward trend in young people coming to the gallery generally. So that's
what we're working on now as well is kind of implementing posters in the gallery, so people know that there's this kind of digital realm that people can interact with while they're there in the space. There's some other projects that we're doing that do this sort of stuff as well. We're doing like AR exhibitions that are kind of mapped onto the paintings that we have, and we're developing the YouTube channel. So across everything, we're trying to generate kind of younger voices in the gallery.
And to build on that question, I can see there's huge value for those students who did that work with you and for you to learn from them. But I'm just interested, because I have no idea about the kind of analytics, if any, you get from Roblox. Mm-hmm. What kind of stats can you get in terms of usage of the game itself?
Yeah, you can see overall gameplay stats, so you can see how many people play it. Everything on Roblox is live all the time, so you can get multiple people going into games, all the time. You can see, overall how many people use it. I think you can see kind of where those people are from as well, if they have a profile that's, visible in that way. Age range as well. But yeah, it's something we're kind of thinking about, kind of capturing this data, because most of this stuff is unseen. So, and kind of sharing that with publics. So yeah, I'm really interested in kind of making that stuff visible. All of the work that we do around that stuff, making it visible to audiences.
Great. Any other questions while you're thinking, and ask another one based on that as well, just about the lifetime of the game. So you've got this game as an output, fantastic output of this project. How sustainable? Will you have to update it? Will it live on there for a while? Just give us a sense of that timescale for sustainability.
Yeah. So this isn't actually ours. It's the students. So I think that's kind of key. Like, I didn't want to make something that was the gallery doing something. This is them making it, and they've decided to make it with our kind of collection or resource. We're running this project with the college kind of yearly, but it's not necessarily always a video game. We're going to make mobile phone apps. We're going to make lots of different things. So this content will be out there, but it won't be kind of authored by us, which I think is really interesting. It's not the gallery making these things. It's people using us or working with us to make things.
Right, that's a clever way of not having to deal with the sustainability ongoing. There's a question here.
Thank you. Really interesting presentation. Thank you. It's obviously based on your permanent collection. how would you think differently, or could you think differently about digital projects where if you didn't have a permanent collection, but only short exhibitions coming through your gallery?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's where I want to go. Like, my background is in, contemporary art. So I think you'd have to, up front straight away with the artist you're working with, you're saying, we're doing a learning engagement project, we're making a video game. Can we use your IP? Can we use your copyright in this capacity? If they say yes, then, do it. There's no brainer. If they say no, then, they're probably not the right artist for that project. I don't know how kind of, 2D, painters, drawers would feel about this. I imagine kind of video artists or digital people would be more up for it because they understand the relevance of it. But yeah, I think it's just having a conversation with the artist. We have a big pop art collection, and all that stuff is kind of heavily copyrighted. I want to try and do some stuff with that. It's kind of working through those permissions and all that sort of stuff. It's a slow process. That's why we started off with the kind of older works, because you can work with them.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Aaron from National Space Centre. Just wondering, Roblox sometimes gets criticised for issues with safeguarding, stuff like that. Did you have any sort of negative feedback based on any of that kind of stuff?
So that is something that we've thought about, and when we were working with the students, something that we talked to them about, because it's not something that they really had an understanding of. So the idea that I think some games you can play, anybody can join in a shared space, and safeguarding could potentially be a real issue there, especially with the younger age range we wanted to work with as the audience. So they put things in place around only, one person can enter the game at a time, and there's no kind of interaction with strangers, for example. So that was one of the things they put in place. But it's definitely something at the start of the project that we hadn't necessarily thought through, I think, because it was meant to be just so led by the students that they chose the platform and chose the kind of outcomes and things. So we had to learn quite quickly along the way, I would say.
Yeah, great question, because that's one of the considerations. I guess you might get pushback from leadership around doing something like this. So, any other questions from the floor? Just before we wrap up, how did your curators feel about the artworks appearing in Roblox?
I think curious about how it would turn out and what the kind of impact could be on audiences, and we did have conversations around like what works can we use, and that's why we kind of went for, I suppose, initially quite a risk averse approach of using the older works from the collection, but I think they've tested it and been positive. Yeah.
I think all this new stuff, it's new, so it's kind of just doing it slowly and learning as you go. Problems come up, and I think it's just doing it and making it happen, I guess.
Yeah, but there's obviously a culture of experimentation at Wolverhampton. I mean, those lates, the algo raid, that looked brilliant as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we've just had one with Anyone the Wanderer, who's a local rapper, jazz artist. He was in the Georgian Gallery with all the Georgian portraits with his 5-piece jazz band playing his new album. So yeah, he's local to Wolverhampton.
Brilliant. Thank you. Right, last chance to pick their brains, though they will probably be here for a few minutes. I mean, if you've got any individual questions. No, right. Please join me then in saying thank you again to Dinosaur and Penelope.